James King sat in a leather chair on the top floor of a glass-walled penthouse in the city of Chicago. Outside the enormous windows, the city shone at night with tens of thousands of lights, like a map come alive, full of stories and secrets. In his left hand, he had a glass of premium bourbon, but he didn't drink any. His total focus was on the screen of his laptop. The camera caught the rear entrance of the building. At precisely 8:15 p.m., Emily materialized. A fragile woman in a simple cleaning uniform, a plain jacket slung over it. She looked around nervously, then exited the camera's view. Emily was notorious for keeping a low profile, her voice barely above a whisper, her eyes always cast downward. But there was something different about the way she moved tonight, something that struck James as off. A man accustomed to sensing deception and danger behind others' eyes, he felt a concealed truth. Perhaps for the first time, he was uncertain about his own intuition. Without revealing a glimmer of emotion, he phoned his driver and requested that he follow the girl discreetly. 20 minutes later, the black limousine glided down the rain-drenched streets of the old neighborhood, keeping up with Emily as she walked by the ruined houses. She was moving deliberately, as though she had to do something in a hurry. James finally followed her to a dilapidated warehouse, drove around the building, and observed as she went down the basement. Looking out of a window, he observed a poorly lit room with the walls cracked. On the chilly floor was a thin girl, 7 years old at most, in a wrecked wheelchair. She was pale-skinned, her face exhausted. Emily was kneeling beside her, humming a gentle lullaby, one that seemed to ease both the child and herself. In that single moment, everything shifted inside James. His world, built on deals, wealth, and power, suddenly felt hollow and irrelevant. Memories flooded in, of his mother who worked herself to the bone to give him a future, and how he'd left it all behind chasing success in New York, forgetting what truly mattered. The next day, an alien quietude enveloped the penthouse. James occupied the table in the winter garden, gazing at a scribbled note on the table before him. It was not signed, nor did it have an explanation. It just stated the girl had an appointment at St. Helena Clinic. Anything had already been taken care of. A plastic card and the attending doctor's contact were included with the note. Emily came into work as usual, quietly, modestly. She did not notice initially that the security guard, normally the kind of man who never gave her the time of day, said good morning to her for the very first time. On her desk was an envelope. She opened it, read the letter, and collapsed onto the floor, overcome with a combination of shock, terror, and delicate hope. No one had ever done anything remotely like this for her. She barely dared to believe it was actually happening. 2 days after that, Emily walked with her daughter through a sunny hallway in a private clinic, her daughter's hand in hers. Masha, the same child from the basement, was no longer tethered to her wheelchair. The doctors were talking optimistically about her prospects of recovery, about a promising way ahead. Everything seemed like a dream. James came that night, without his bodyguards, without business's chill armor. He was just a man, one who had lost a great deal and was coming to reclaim his soul. He gave Masha a doctor's kit toy, and with her happy smile, the room brightened. In seeing her at peace, he saw something strong. In rescuing her, he was rescuing himself. James started coming more regularly. He heard tales, chuckled at the ceaseless barrage of kids' questions, brought books, and joined Emily in building a future based not on pain, but hope. He was no longer merely a great man in a glass tower. He was someone who could love, who could be kind, who could heal. What a wonderful tale. Dear friends, if this video touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's so much more in store.